What's good people? One thing that I was thinking about today is that recently my daughter, who's 3 years old, has been asking a lot of questions about family, who is related to who, things of that matter when it comes down to it. And I'm starting to notice that something is I thought it was just my family. I thought it may have just been us. But it seems like a lot of my generation has no clue who their great grandparents are. And let me say, I'm 35. My parents are in their 60s, and for some odd reason, even though when asked and talked to them about it, like, a lot of them don't know the reason why they don't know, like, their grandparents, like, would be my great grandparent, but they don't know their grandparents. Like, it was like the time period before their parents is like just not talked about whatsoever, even when it comes to family. The only person that I do know, crazy enough to say, is that I do know my great grandfather was white, which is interesting, but that's a whole nother story that we never could get to and never find out the real true story of my grandmother when it comes down to it. Her father was white. But I just look at that as very interesting as I started seeing other stories even on TikTok, and people was talking about that. But it seems like around people of the 30-year-old range and whose parents may go into the 60s and 70s, none of them really know their grandparents, which I think is crazy. And to even think about right now that my daughter, who is 3 years old, will be the first person in my family who actually will know and have pictures of her great grandfather that she has never met. But when it comes to my generation and my cousins, like, we have no clue who our ancestry or where it even came from, probably before 1920 and 1930. And that is something that needs to be discussed. And I personally feel like the trauma, that shows how much trauma had to be put in the past, to the point you have our grandparents who literally tried to forget everything that happened before them. And if you didn't know, you didn't discuss it. But that's just my rant for today. Love y'all.